If you're someone who is very anxious, you don't know what is going to be happening with your child, you have a very clingy child and you're worried as to going to nursery, you need to sit down and watch this video to the end, because I can assure you and guarantee you that you're going to benefit from this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Precious. Yes, your girl Precious. If this is your first time, yeah, this is my sit down video, guys. I'm actually sitting down in my office. You'll probably be hearing a bit of echo because it's a bit empty. I'm still trying to do some furnishing and all of that, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about Naomi. So if you haven't seen the update video, a lot has happened. You need to catch up on the things that has happened, and I also want to say thank you guys, because you guys have literally been with me. I want to really appreciate you. But this is another section, another phase of my life, phase on YouTube, and I would really like you to continue this journey with me. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about everything Naomi going to nursery. Guys, if you don't know, Naomi started nursery. We've moved house and Naomi started nursery. It was one of those things that I was really worried, because if you watch my videos, you will know that I've always said that Naomi is very clingy. Naomi is that kind of baby that if I'm not there, she'll be all right, but as soon as I'm there, she becomes a different child. Literally, she doesn't like to be held by strangers. In fact, at the beginning, if a stranger comes close to her, she starts crying, literally. And after a while, she got better and she will let you come close, but you're not going to touch Naomi. So I was really worried about Naomi going to the nursery. So if you're someone who is very anxious, who is very you don't know what is going to be happening with your child, you have a very clingy child and you're worried as to going to nursery, you need to sit down and watch this video to the end, because I can assure you and guarantee you that you're going to benefit from this video. So yeah, so what did I do? So okay, the first thing obviously is the fact that I wanted Naomi to go back to nursery the days that I am going to be working, right? So I wanted her to go back to nursery the days I'm going to be working. So first thing first, I had to look for nursery around the area that we are going to be moving to. Yeah, so I found two nurseries that were not really, one had space and the other one did not have space at all. So when I went to see this nursery, it was during summer and they said they were not going to have space until the next year, but the first nursery they had space actually. So I decided to go see both nurseries. Now the first nursery that has space, it was very close to the house. The second nursery that did not have space, they just said, you know what, Precious, just come and see it, and you can put your her name down, and maybe when there's any available slot, we can always ring you to have her join. So now I'm going to be talking about how can you find out a nursery. There are two ways that you need to pick a good nursery for your child, just two. Obviously you may find a list of 10 and all of that, but for me, two things that I am looking at when I go to a nursery. The first thing is Ofsted Reports. So if you don't live in the UK, Ofsted is like a body that governs or that looks after schools, nursery, anything that has to do with children, right? School and all of that. Ofsted, I'm going to put it on the screen as well. Ofsted looks after them. Ofsted makes sure that the person is qualified. Ofsted makes sure that the setting is okay for the children. Ofsted basically makes sure that the setting, the nursery, the childminder, the person who is going to be looking after your children is qualified, does not have any criminal record, does not have anything. The nursery has the necessary check, hygiene, health and safety, all those kind of thing. Ofsted regulates the nursery, or Ofsted regulates it. Now if you're looking for a nursery, looking for a childminder and all of that, you decide to go for someone who doesn't have Ofsted Reports, you're at your own peril, because whatever happens, I don't even think anyone would do that. So someone will say to me, Precious, why did you decide nursery? Why did you choose nursery instead of childminder? Personally, I always prefer nursery because I feel like the child is going to be interacting with a lot more people. And there are so many other people that will be looking after the child, not just one person. Abuse as well can be spotted by a different member of staff. That doesn't mean that abuse does not happen, but imagine you're in a place where there are so many other carers or so many other people looking after your children. If one person is abusive, other people are likely going to spot it. But a childminder is just that one person looking after your child. I don't feel very comfortable leaving my child with just a childminder, but that does not mean that childminders don't have their advantages, because they are actually very, very flexible compared to nurseries. So I went to the first nursery, and that was the one that did have space. Okay, so I've talked about the first thing is Ofsted Reports. The second thing that you need to use to decide if you're going to be dropping your child at a particular child care center is mother's instinct. Guys, mother's instinct is one thing that will not fail you, because mother's instinct is that thing that you may go to a setting in a nursery, right? I've been to a nursery. I remember when Mark was smaller and was a baby, I went to a nursery. This nursery was literally posh, right? It was a posh nursery. It was a beautiful nursery, but there was just something that did not sit right with me. And my husband was like, the nursery is okay. I said, no, I don't like the nursery, and I don't want to drop my child there. So there's that thing called mother's instinct, that you just know that this is not the right place for your child to be at, right? And so mother's instinct, never ever ignore mother's instinct. Never ever ignore the instinct that tells you that something is not right. Do not ignore it. If you're a mom, never ever ignore it. So those are the two things that made me decide to take Naomi, and obviously God came through for me. So I went to the first nursery and I looked around. There was space, and they were like, oh, if you don't take it, someone else is going to take it, and all of that kind of thing. I was like, okay, I'm going to go home. Give me the forms, I'll fill it. But deep down inside of me, my child is not coming here. What was the problem? I don't know. But I just knew that my child was not going to go there. So I was now very, very confused, because I know that this is the only nursery in the whole of the area where we are that have availability. The other place I'm going to be looking at, they don't have space up to the next year. Like in next year May, they don't have space. So I just felt like, okay, let me go see it. So I went there. As soon as I went into that nursery, even without looking round, as soon as I went into the building, I felt this peace. Now I felt this peace, but there's no space in this nursery. What do I do? We looked around, she showed me around, the lady showed me around and all of that, and I was almost getting emotional, because I feel like, God, my child needs to be here, but there is no space. What do I do? So I said to the lady, I said, when are you going to have space? She said, oh, obviously I told you, Precious, we don't have space, it's going to be next year and all of that. Then immediately she said to me, Precious, how many days of the week do you need Naomi to be here? So I said, I actually want her to be here 2 days a week, because those are the days that I work. And she was like, what days? I told her, and she said, we can actually do that for you. Guys, you know when they say God answers prayer, see, oh God, I don't want to preach, but I feel like telling you guys that God answers prayers. Like, I went to that nursery, not just to go and look and come back. And you know when you feel like this is where your child needs to be, I felt it, and immediately the woman that told me literally that there's no space, so you're just coming to see, so that you write your name down, and when it's available I'll call you, told me that she is going to accommodate my daughter. God is faithful. So that's just a miracle for me. It's a testimony for me. I'm just sharing with you guys. So those are the two things that made me, I said, okay, Naomi is going to go there. Now, settling. So if you don't know, settling in the UK is when you want to send your child to school you need to send them few times. They go stay a couple of hours before they now start full on. This is just to make them settle in with and get used to things before they start. Because one thing you don't want to do is start your child full on, like a child is starting nursery and they go the first day, they just go and stay the whole day. No, it's going to be too much. So we do that here in the UK, where they do settling. So Naomi settled for the first day, and obviously due to COVID as well, there's still COVID here and they're still practicing a lot of things here. They asked me to bring Naomi, and that I was going to stay for 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes I would leave and come back, pick her at 4. So I went at 2 and picked her up at 4. Guys, I was really anxious because I know my daughter. I know the kind of person she is. I prayed. Precious prays for everything, because I cannot do anything without God. I prayed. My mom always says something to me, tell God what you want. So I prayed. I kept praying. Even while I was driving her to the nursery, I was praying. I was prophesying prophesying and just saying, Naomi, you're going to settle. Naomi, you're going to do it. Naomi, you're going to enjoy your time at nursery. So I dropped her off. She cried, obviously, cried and cried. So 15 minutes later, they asked me to leave. I left. And at 4, I came back to pick her. By the time I came to pick her, she had slept. And I picked her and I went. So the next time I went, I dropped her off. Guys, Naomi started playing. Naomi played the second day, and they started sending me pictures and all of that. So Naomi started nursery. I am no longer worried that Naomi would cry. I am no longer, in fact, and they always send me pictures at work as well. Whenever I'm at work, they always send me pictures to like, Naomi is this, Naomi is that, and all of that. Naomi is settled in nursery. Guys, you don't even know how big this is for me, because I was really worried. I was really worried and anxious for Naomi, but Naomi settled. Naomi plays. In fact, this morning when her siblings were going to school, Naomi was crying to go to nursery. So if you're watching me and you have a child or you have a baby, you're very anxious, he or she is clingy, you don't know if this child is going to settle in nursery, all you just need is God to direct you to the nursery that would be perfect for your child. And trust me, God is going to use those staff to make your child or help your child to settle. I feel like praying. I don't know, for some reason I just have that feeling to pray. I don't pray all the time, but when I feel like praying, I pray. I want to pray now for everyone who is watching me and your child is going to be going to nursery or going to childminder or going to the nanny. I want to pray for your child. Lord, I pray, oh God, concerning these people. Their kids are going to be going to nursery. The miracle you did for me concerning Naomi, Lord Jesus, I pray that you do even more for them, that they will find a good nursery, a good child care for their children, and they will also find the perfect place, and their children will settle properly. Blind the eyes of the enemies from abusers, from evil people. They will not come closer to our children in the name of Jesus. Yes, I just feel like praying, and that was why I prayed. I just want to encourage everyone out there. You're worried that your child is not going to settle. Trust me, your child is going to settle. It may take a bit long. If someone had told me that Naomi was just going to need 2 settling in, like just 2 days to settle, between the hours of 2 and 4, 2 days, and that was it. And Naomi went into nursery full on, how many hours? 7:30 to 6 o'clock. I would not have believed it, but Naomi did it. If Naomi, my own Naomi, would settle or could settle, I don't think there's any child that would not settle, right? There's no child that would not settle. So I just want to encourage you, mama, that is watching me. I want to tell you that don't worry about it. Just make sure you find a good place for your child and take your baby there. Your baby will settle. Obviously, you need to make sure the place is a good place. You follow your heart, follow your mother's instinct. You pray about it. You pray that God takes you to the right place. And trust me, your child is going to settle. If you have any question about Naomi starting nursery, you have any question about settling in, you have any question about how she's coping and everything about nursery, let me know on the comment section. I am definitely going to answer you, because I know that there are a lot of women, a lot of people out there who are very anxious about taking their babies to nursery. Naomi settled. Your baby is going to settle as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Did you enjoy this video? Did you find value in this video? Please press the subscribe button, share it to someone who you know is going to benefit from this video, and also leave a comment on the comment section. If you've watched this video, you enjoyed it, please let me know by leaving a comment on the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye for now. Bye.